Did you know that cinema arrived in Africa just 1 year after its invention in Paris? But for decades, the stories of Africa's greatest empires were told through a Eurocentric lens, marginalizing African voices. This is the story of how African cinema reclaimed its narrative, from the fall of the Songhai Empire to modern masterpieces like The Woman King. In 1591, the Songhai Empire, one of Africa's most powerful states, met its end at the Battle of Tondebai. The Saudi dynasty of Morocco, armed with gunpowder, devastated Songhai's forces. This moment marked not just the fall of an empire, but the beginning of a centuries-long struggle over who would tell Africa's story. Fast forward to 1927, when Egypt produced Leila, the first feature film in Africa. Directed by Stephen Rusty and Widad Ofi, and starring Aziza Amir, Leila was a groundbreaking moment. Yet, cinema in Africa was still in its infancy, and the narrative was often shaped by outsiders. The 1934 Laval Decree was a stark reminder of colonial suppression. This law prohibited Africans in French colonies from making their own films, ensuring that European voices dominated the cinematic landscape. But the winds of change were blowing. In the 1960s, as African nations gained independence, a new generation of filmmakers emerged. Among them was Sembène Ousmane, often called the father of African cinema. A novelist turned filmmaker, Sembène realized that film could reach a wider audience than literature. His 1966 film La Noada won the Prix Jean Vigo and is widely considered the first feature film by an African director. Sembène's work marked the birth of independent African cinema, a movement dedicated to reclaiming Africa's narrative. In recent years, films like The Woman King and the Netflix docudrama African Queens, Njinga have brought African empires to a global audience. These modern masterpieces aim to tell African stories from African-centered viewpoints, correcting historical erasure and boosting national pride. Yet, they also face criticism for balancing historical accuracy with entertainment value. The question of who tells the story remains central. For decades, outsiders controlled the narrative, but today, African filmmakers are taking the lead. The future of African cinema is bright, with Egypt remaining the most established industry, but challenges remain. The legacy of colonialism persists, with many nations struggling with infrastructure and funding. Despite these hurdles, African cinema continues to thrive, serving as a form of cultural diplomacy and a platform for African voices. The journey from the fall of Songhai to the rise of African cinema is a testament to the resilience and creativity of the African people. As we look to the future, one thing is clear: the story of Africa's empires will continue to be told, louder and more authentically than ever before.